And when I started researching it, I was all for, I believed that it was fake, that it was a hoax. But after like looking into everything, I now am a firm believer that it actually did happen.
Okay,
And
what do
some of
you
the things that made people,
go ahead?
some of the things that made people believe that it didn't happen was the shadows in the pictures and the videos are going different ways, and people are saying that if there's only one light source, which would be the sun, the shadows would all be going in the same direction. But that was debunked because there's like the light reflects off of the suits and off of the surface of the moon, and that's why it's going in different directions. Another one was that there were no stars in the sky in the picture, and that was easily debunked because the exposure and the cameras they were using weren't picking up the light because it was super dim compared to the light that was reflecting off the suits and the surface of the moon.
Yeah.
Another one is that the flag looked like it was waving in the wind, but it wasn't. It was that the flag had a metal rod in it so that when the astronauts put it up, it wouldn't just fall down. So when they pulled the rod, they didn't get out all the way, which makes the flag look like it's crinkled or like it's waving.
Hmm, it makes sense. I
Mm-hmm.
gotcha. Um, yeah, that's good points actually. And I could see that back then their cameras weren't as good as what they are now, and I could see it not picking up things. Andy, what do you think on that? Do you think it was real, or do you think it was a hoax?
I
Just
think it was, I don't know. I think it was a little bit of a hoax and a little bit of truth. I'm not sure because if we went to the moon, why aren't we keep going there? Or like keep going other places?
yeah, which we are trying now. I mean, uh, that is true though. That one's a tough one. We were in this big race with Russia to see who could get not only a person up in space, but who could land on the moon first, and that's huge. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if I feel that it's real or I feel that it's a hoax. So interesting. Good job, Taylor. That was interesting. All right, Andy, go ahead. Let us hear yours.
Okay, well, I did my conspiracy on how Hitler faked his death. So in 1945, Hitler was in his bunker with his partner, Eva Braun,
Mm-hmm.
and they were there because they got word that the Soviets were coming to, murder him. And then, so they got word of that, and they decided that they were going to take cyanide capsules. And then Hitler shot himself in the head for just good precaution because he did not want to be caught by the Soviets.
Mm-hmm.
And after they were supposedly dead, their bodies were cremated because it was his orders after death on what to do. And later on, their bodies were recovered, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is Hitler." At first, they're like, "This is him. He's dead." And then later on, down the road, we finally DNA test it whether or not it's really him, and it turns out to be a 45-year-old woman.
Really?
And then,
Yeah, I
yeah,
thought they never found the body. I thought Russia never handed the body over.
they found, oh, the Russia didn't hand over the body. They just let us test it. And then after we tested it and found out it was a 45-year-old woman, they wouldn't let us go near it anymore.
Uh,
And so after they found that out, they're like, okay, so where's his real body? And so they started looking and looking, and then they came to the conclusion that it was probably body doubles that actually died in the bunker in 1945. And actually, a lot of people around this time had body doubles. Like, I know Churchill had a couple. The documentary said that. And then other people had body doubles that were important roles for protection, or just to, like, I don't know exactly why they would need one, but Hitler needed one to fake his death, obviously.
yeah, yeah.
And
So what do you
so
believe?
I believe that he escaped Germany and he lived the rest of his days in hiding. He like changed his whole face or something because just a lot of things didn't add up that Germany was saying and the Soviets were saying.
Yeah, didn't supposedly he went somewhere in South America and stayed the rest of his life?
Yeah, they think Argentina.
Okay. Yeah, I think I read a big old thing on that. That actually is interesting. I could see that happening. He didn't want to get caught, but I'm surprised he never would have said anything after coming out that he was still alive, especially in his older age, that. So that's interesting. What do you think, Taylor?
I did, this is on topic in a minute, it'll get there. I did a project in psychology about narcissistic personality disorder, and
Mm-hmm.
one of the biggest people that I had to talk about in my report was Hitler because he had it. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like someone who has that disorder can't just go fake his death and not come out anymore. He is so obsessed with himself that he would need to put it back out there that he's still alive, and I don't think he would just stop.
So you think
That's
he would
my
have
opinion.
said,
So I feel like
go ahead.
you didn't I feel like he would have come out and said something, or I feel like he couldn't stop what he was doing, and he would have just, I think he actually died.
Yeah, that's a interesting concept when you add in psychology. Uh, huh. Yeah, I agree with that too a little bit. Saying he would have came out and said, "Hey, look at me, I'm still alive. I got away." But then he would have had to be captured and probably put in prison for the rest of his life. So I don't know. I mean, that's good. Michael, what do you think? Did you try downloading the app so you can talk? Hello, hello. You still there? You sleeping? Oh, okay. He's trying to download it. What do you think? Did Hitler fake his death? No comment. I really appreciate it. You guys both did a good job on this. It's good comments. Michael believes he actually died. What do you think about the moon landing, Michael? He says the moon landing is fake. So interesting. I wish more people would have came on today so we could actually had more of a discussion with these. It's kind of fun when you get to argue a little bit and against each other's concepts. But I do appreciate you guys coming on, and I will give you guys bonus points for doing it. Michael, I will give you bonus points too because you did video, I believe yours, right? So, all right, guys. Well, I appreciate Andy. I appreciate you getting up and actually doing this one more week with us. And you were a graduate. I'm excited for you. So,
Yes. Do you know anything about what's happening with graduation or no?
the governor even has come out, no mass gatherings. I mean, I know they're going to do a parade thing, I think like May 15th, where they're going to line you guys all up in the cars. And you guys are, they're going to, take you through town, I think, and then come around. But don't quote me on that because I don't know the exact details on it. And I know they were talking at some point of maybe having something in July, August, maybe, for an actual ceremony. But I don't know if that was axed or not. So, but
Okay.
I do feel bad for you guys that are actually graduating and not being able to go through. But you know what? A parade and that type of ceremony, I think, will be pretty cool. At least you're getting recognized. The thing that I think they're afraid of is people getting out of their cars. You just can't do that, So I don't know. Jessica Adams actually did a conspiracy theory on COVID. I mean, I would have been interested to actually hear hers. So All right, guys. Well, that's all I have for you, unless you guys have any questions. Taylor, you did pick your president. I'll get back to you. Michael, did you pick your president? Okay. You need to make sure you get on top of that. Andy, Taylor, you guys have any questions?
No, I'm almost done
No.
with mine.
Okay. Thank you to both for coming on. Michael, you too. And I will talk to you guys later. Okay.